Hello everyone, it's me. I have a special guest. Say hello.
Hello.
This is Emma, this is my fiancée. And what we're going to do today is we're going to read The Eye of Argon by Jim Thies, which is a book that was published in the 70s, so it was written with like a typewriter, and it is full of spelling mistakes, and it's well known as being the worst fantasy novel ever written.
I like that when they transformed it into digital form from typewriting, they retained all of the spelling mistakes.
And the punctuation errors and the double words that he uses. So that's what we're going to do. I don't think there's anything else to really say other than we will get started. Who wants to read first, young lady? So most of the people listening to this are American. So this is going to be the most British injection of, I think, anything they've probably ever experienced.
Isn't that exciting?
Would you like to read first?
Okay.
Okay, we don't have to lean. I'm pretty sure we can lean back.
I'm really excited to read it. I can't.
Shall I make it bigger?
Anything.
Okay, I'll make it bigger.
Yes, please.
My huge monitor. There we go. That might be a bit too big. Just 3 words. Okay. Okay. So the way this works is if one of us laughs, not one of it, if the person reading laughs, then we swap.
Okay.
And so that's the goal. I'm gonna obviously try and make you laugh as well, so that I can read.
This seems unfair.
Are you excited? I'm just keeping an eye on that to make sure it's recording. Say, testing. Yeah, so you can see it's working. Cool. I hope I found the right one. They haven't fixed the. Yeah, no, this is fine. Okay, you can. This is with all the mistakes included. That was what I was checking.
I'm excited about the lost ending.
Yes, exactly. We'll do an hour of this, so we'll stop at past. Off you go.
Okay.
So relax, lean back. Don't worry about it. It's going to pick us up. It's.
I'm still leaning to read. I can't see.
You can't see it? Oh
well, I can, but it's just my eyes are a bit dodgy.
You just put your glasses on.
I have my contacts in. I think that'd be...
Is that better? You can widen it. I've got I have a 35-inch monitor, so we can make this as big as we need to. This is me name-dropping my monitor. It's been 2 minutes and we haven't started the book.
I think this is going very well.
It is, it's great. The longer the better, really, so we can spread this over 9 episodes, so we can do it all in one sitting.
I see. Right. The weather-beaten trail wound ahead into the dust-racked climes of the barren land which dominates large portions of the Norgolian Empire. Age-worn hoofprints smothered by the sifting sands of time shone dully against...
I think that should say the shifting sands of time. The sifting sands of time.
I think that's more of it. I don't know.
Is that a word?
Sifting. I mean, you sift things.
The sands of time don't sift, though, do they?
You can sift sand to find little treasures.
The sifting sands of time. All right,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's shifting. There you go. Sorry, not to interrupt you.
Shifting. So rude. Against the dust-splattered crust of Earth. We need capital E for Earth.
Yeah, there's no capital E, just to say yes.
The tireless sun cast its parching rays of incandescence from overhead, halfway through its daily revolution.
The sun's daily revolution. Oh, you laughed. You're not meant to laugh a bit.
Well, no, I'm more just impressed that if this is a person who has a poor grip on grammar, who got the right its.
I was thinking that, yeah, and this person was like 16 when they wrote it, so it's not all bad.
Small rodents scampered about, occupying themselves in the daily accomplishments of their dismal lives.
You're not supposed to laugh.
Sorry,
I'll give you one more chance, but no more laughing.
Give them like scampering rodents. That seems
The
quite
dismal
happy.
lives.
Their dismal lives just cuts any sort of joy.
They might be having a good time.
Dust sprayed over 3 heaving mounts in blinding clouds while they bore the burdensome cargoes of their struggling overseers. Prepare to embrace your creators in the Stygian haunts of hell, barbarian, gasped the first soldier. Only after you have kissed the fleeting stead of death, wretch, returned Gringer.
Grigner.
A sweeping blade of flashing steel riveted from the massive barbarian's hide enamelled shield as his rippling right arm thrust forth, sending a steel shod blade to the hilt into the soldier's vital organs.
Vital organs. There you go.
Disemboweled mercenary crumpled from his saddle and sank into the clouded sward.
Sword?
Sward. Sprinkling the parched dust with crimson droplets of escaping life fluid.
Alright, I will continue then.
So sorry. Can I have some life fluid, please?
Droplets of escaping life fluid. So,
the doctors, when they're like, help is bleeding out, get some life fluid.
The disemboweled mercenary crumpled from his saddle and sank to the clouded sward, sprinkling the parched dust with crimson droplets of escaping life fluid.
I just read that bit.
We laughed, so I was just reiterating, but
I
don't know. I'm a really poor reader. I find it really difficult to read words out loud, so you can see
I've
how
not
this
read
goes.
aloud since my A-level English class, so this is really quite challenging.
Yeah, at least you haven't. I stopped English at GCSE. I haven't done anything. So you're the one here who's going to be our tell us when there's grammatical errors, because I don't know anything. The infused.
Come on, big word,
Is
come on.
that correct? The enthused.
Enthused, yeah.
I was thinking of infused. Sorry. The enthused
Come on.
barbarian swiveled around, his shock of fiery red hair tossing robustly in the humid air currents as he faced the attack of the defeated soldier's fellow in arms. "Damn you, barbarian!" shrieked the soldier as he observed his comrade in death.
So this is where it came from. Damn you, barbarian! You nicked this.
Damn you, barbarian! Oh, I see. Yeah.
Damn you, son.
Damn you, barbarian! I didn't do very well there. I laughed. I don't know. I'm hoping that. Let me just check how loud that. Yeah, I'm breaking the microphone. Let me turn this down. I'm making too much noise. As he observed his comrade in death. That's ridiculous. Anyway, you can continue.
You just don't want to read, do you? A gleaming scimitar smote a heavy...
Scimitar.
Scimitar, what is that?
It's a type of sword. This is from all my gaming.
Games. A gleaming scimitar smote a heavy blow against the renegade's spiked helmet, bringing a heavy cloud over the accordion's misting brain.
Accordion?
Well, it must be, it's capital, it must be a race.
Type of person.
Wow.
The accordions.
The accordion. Shaking off the effects of the pounding blow to his head, Grigner brought down his scarlet streaked edge against the soldier's crudely forged hauberk.
Hauberk?
Clanging harmlessly to the left side of his opponent.
just
Hauberk.
right. Okay.
Do you have any ideas, Mr. Gamer?
Oh, it's meant to say halberd.
What's that?
It's a type of you use it when you're fighting horses because it's like a long blade. I completed Dark Souls 1 exclusively using a halberd, not a hauberk.
These poor horses.
That's not even nearly how you spell halberd. Like 4 of the letters are wrong. How did he get Haubrk?
Burk. The soldier steed. Oops.
You laughed. It's my
But
turn.
he spells it as stead.
The soldiers.
Soldier, that's right.
Oh, is that sorry? I can't write a story.
I thought steed was double E, but maybe I'm wrong.
No, he's that's not right.
Oh.
The soldier's stead whinnied as he directed the horse back from the driving blade of the barbarian. Grigner. He couldn't have picked a worse name. There's one vowel in his character's name.
Grigner.
Grigner leashed.
Is this like a predecessor to Grinder?
Yes, I think so.
Grigner.
Grigner leashed his mount forward as the hoarsely piercings battle cry of his wilderness-bred race resounded from his grinding lungs. A twirling blade bounced harmlessly from the mighty thief's buckler as his rolling right arm cleft upwards. He's like an octopus, sending a foot of blinding steel ripping through the Cimmerian's exposed gullet.
I have to say,
I'm having a lot of trouble reading this.
It's not so bad, the writing, but I think combined with your reading
I'm
aloud
so bad at reading.
you're completely dissecting every word.
He spelt Cimmerian in like his made-up word differently in the story so far. Anyway, he spelled it with an A before, and now it's with an I. It doesn't matter. A gasping gurgle from the soldier's writhing mouth as he tumbled to the golden sand at his feet and wormed agonizingly in his deathbed.
Deathbed of sand.
A gasping gurgle from the soldier's writhing mouth as he tumbled. That doesn't make any sense. Anyway.
We heard it as he was tumbling.
We'll try and get involved. We'll do as they say. Grigner's emerald green orbs glared lustfully at his wallowing soldiers struggling before his chestnut-swirled mount. I have no idea what that sentence means. Grigner's emerald green orbs glared lustfully at the wallowing soldiers struggling before his chestnut-swirled mount.
Are his green orbs his eyes?
I think the orbs are his eyes. And I think the chestnut-swirled mount is his horse, but it sounds more like a dessert.
Well, no, swirled mount, would that be his the saddle?
I think it means the horse. I think what he's done
Can
is...
I describe your eyes from now on as sapphire blue orbs?
I think
glaring lustfully.
I think what he's done is he's put horse in a thesaurus, fuck me, and he's got like mount and steed, and that's what he's putting in, but he put stead in its place. His scowling voice reverberated over the dying form in a tone of mocking mirth. You city-bred dogs should learn not to antagonize your better. Reining his weary mount ahead, Grigner, without a capitalization, resumed his journey to the Norgolian city of Gorzam, hoping to discover wine, women, and adventure to boil the wild blood coursing through his savage veins.
I love boiling my blood.
I like Grigner as well. He sounds like an upstanding fellow.
Whenever I have wine and women and adventure, my blood boils.
In your savage veins.
In a positive way.
The trek to Gorzom was forced upon Grigner when the soldiers of Kryn were leashed upon him by a faithless concubine he had wooed. I don't know what that means either.
Concubine is a wayward lady.
So we've got Kryn, Gorzam, Norgolian, Cimmerian, and Accordion, all in one, like 2 paragraphs. He could have kept it a bit more simple. Soldiers of Kryn, his scandalous activities throughout the Cimmerian city had unleashed throngs of havoc and uproar amongst its refined patricians. Is that a word?
Patrons? I don't know.
Patricians, leading them to tack a heavy reward over his head. So he's just going to go there, even though they're going to.
He's a wanted man.
Even though he's a wanted man. He had barely managed to escape through the back entrance of the inn he had been guzzling in, as a squad of soldiers pounced upon him. What is he talking about? When did he escape the back of an inn? Or is that what he was just fighting? Oh, that was what he was doing. He was just fighting in an inn. So he's left now, but he's on his way back. I don't know. He had barely managed to escape through the back entrance of the inn he had been guzzling in. What's he talking about?
What's he guzzling?
As a squad of soldiers pounced upon him, after spilling a spout of blood from the leader of the mercenaries as he dismembered one of the officer's arms, he retreated to his mount to make his way towards Gorzom, rumoured to contain hordes of plunder and many young wenches for any man who has the backbone to wrest them away. What the fuck? And many young wenches for any man who has the backbone. That doesn't make any sense. The fucking way he's telling the story is absurd.
I thought he wanted the women. Why would he wrest them away?
So I think he's going from this place where he had a bounty on his head to Gorzom now. He was somewhere else. And now he's going somewhere else.
To Gorzom.
He's going to Gorzom. So I laugh so you can go.
Arriving after dusk in Gorzom, Grigner descended down a dismal alley.
The punctuation on that.
Well, maybe he just didn't like spaces or
There's no
capitals.
space after the comma, and then Grigner is again spelt without a capital letter. His previous time he used his word, it was a capital G. Anyway, sorry, continue.
Grigner descended down a dismal alley, reining his horse before a beaten tavern.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
Where do you beat the tavern? The redhead giant strode into the dimly lit hostelry, reeking of foul odours and cheap wine.
I think they're saying that the hostelry reeks of foul odours, but the way that's worded, it makes it sound like Grigner reeks of foul odours.
Well, considering he's just been in an inn, getting incredibly excited about the selection of wenches.
So Grigner and the place both smell, and so I don't know if he's going to be able to get anyone to go out with them.
The air was heavy with choking fumes spewing from smouldering torches, or one word.
Oh, one word, smouldering torches.
Encased within the dens, one word, earthen-packed walls. The dens.
Just one word, the dens,
yeah.
with a fucking, so Thedens basically is what that
Thedens,
says.
earthen-packed
Within
walls.
Thedens and
Tables were clustered with groups of drunken thieves and cutthroats, tossing dice or making love to willing prostitutes, all in one room.
I think all prostitutes are willing. He doesn't need to give an adjective to everything.
I wonder if
this is a very busy room.
The tossing dice is related to the lovemaking of prostitutes.
Tossing dice.
Yes.
That's a euphemism.
Eyeing a slender female crouched alone on the nearby bench.
She's just in the corner.
She's hiding from the dice tossers and the love-making
and other people.
prostitutes.
I don't think you can make love to a prostitute. I don't think that's possible.
Well, the prostitutes are willing.
They're very willing, yes.
So this poor slender female crouched alone.
Oh my god.
Grigner advanced, wishing to wholesomely occupy his time.
Wholesomely.
Well, at least he has good intentions.
Yes, he's just gonna have a chat.
The flickering torches cast weird shafts of luminescence dancing over the half-naked harlot of his choice. Her stringy, orchid twines of hair swaying gracefully over the lithe, opaque nose as she raised a half-drained mug to her pale red lips.
He describes someone's nose as opaque.
There is so much going on in that sentence. With shafts of luminescence, we're getting a bit sexy here. On the half-naked, so this half-naked harlot crouching in the corner.
There's so many adjectives.
Stringy orchid twines of hair. I mean, I have to say, he's painting a beautiful picture of this lady.
And her opaque face.
Opaque face.
Grigner approached a translucent woman. Anyway, you laughed, so it's my turn.
I don't know.
You laughed. You laughed at, when I said opaque nose, because I'm
I think everyone would
hilarious.
prefer me reading this aloud than you, but there we go.
I'm going to get back in. I'm going to work this out.
Okay.
Glancing upward, oh, for fuck's sake.
There we
Glancing
go.
upward.
How about I start reading it
This is
before
why.
you stutter?
This is why I read just one word at a time. It's like, glancing upward, the alluring complexion noted the stalwart giant as he rapidly approached. A faint glimmer sparked from the pair of deep blue ovals of the amorous female as she motioned towards Grigner, enticing him to join her. So yeah, we have eyes as ovals. What was it before? It was orbs before, now it's ovals.
Emerald orbs.
Now we have ovals.
And deep blue ovals.
The barbarian seated himself upon a stool at the wench's side, exposing his body, naked save for a loincloth, brandishing a long steel broadsword, an iron-spiraled battle helmet, and a thick leather sandals, to her unobstructed view.
I like that he seated himself upon a stool at the wench's plural side.
Oh my god.
There are more ladies involved now.
And a thick leather sandals to her unobstructed view. Of what?
I've always had a thing for thick leather sandals.
This is absolutely absurd. Oh my god, look at this. Look at this fucking... This is your turn because I laughed. Look at this fucking line.
Thou hast need to occupy your time, barbarian? Questioned the female.
Question mark. Thou hast need to occupy your time, barbarian. Sorry. There's no space between the comma again and then question the female.
This is constituting baby talk way back when in barbarian times.
This woman has mental problems, clearly.
Only if something worth offering is within my reach, stated Grigner, as his hands crept to embrace the tempting female, who welcomed them with open willingness. Again, the willingness there. This is
these are
consensual.
these prostitutes are very well looked after.
Yes. From where do you come, barbarian, and by what are you called? Gasped the complying wench, as Grigner smothered her lips with the blazing touch of his flaming mouth. Flaming mouth.
Flaming?
I mean, is that how you spell flaming?
I think so.
Oh.
Fucking hell, man, this is amazing.
I prefer flaming mouth.
Gasped the complying wench.
From where do you come, barbarian, and by what are you called? Gasped.
I'm just googling how. I'm pretty sure that's how you spell. I don't think it's flaming. Flame. Yeah, cool. They can't. There's no e because they would remove it. That's one of the only bits of.
I don't know. It just looks like a funny word. When we're having to be critical of every single little thing, you start questioning.
Yes, this is my fault for being too unfair.
That this man must be fucking huge. The engrossed Titan ignored the queries of the inquisitive female, pulling her towards him and crushing her sagging nipples to his yearning chest.
Oh my god.
He's crushing them.
There you go. Her sagging nipples.
Sagging nipples. That's
Yeah.
not a great description, with her stringy orchid hair and sagging dimples.
And her opaque nose.
Opaque nose and oval eyes. Without struggle, she gave in, winding her soft arms around the harshly bronzed hide. One word.
Bronzed hide?
Bronzed hide of Grigner corded shoulder blades.
Of Grigner corded shoulder blades. That's very strange.
As his calloused hands caressed her firm, protruding busts with saggy nipples.
And opaque nose.
I'm just trying to imagine these boobs that they are firm and protruding,
and sagging
but
at the same.
just the nipples, just the nipples are sagging. You make love well, wench. Admitted Grigner.
I have to admit, you make love wine. Sorry, continue.
This titan over this teeny woman with her saggy nipples.
Oh my God.
You make love well, wench. As he reached for the vessel of potent wine his charge had been quaffing. A flying foot caught the mug Grigner had taken hold of, sending its blood-red contents sloshing over a flickering crescent, leashing tongues of bright orange flame to the foot-trodden floor.
I think the wine caught fire.
Does wine catch fire?
No. It's quite hard to set any...
So
you can only really set fire to clear
alright, okay, so the red
spirits.
contents sloshed over a flickering crescent. What could a flickering... Is that a candle?
Yeah, I think...
Moon-shaped candle?
I think the wine has knocked over a candle, which has then fallen to the floor.
Right.
And then caught fire to the floor, even though there is only clear liquids can burn usually, but whatever.
Now it's interesting, this is one sentence, and it's almost 3 lines long. On there we have a semicolon, a colon.
Wait, the one we're about to read or the one that we just read?
No, the one we just read, which is why I was so confused, was suddenly everything's on fire. Because I've forgotten what the beginning of the sentence said by the time we got to the end of it. Alright, anyway. Remove yourself, Sirrah, the wench belongs to me! Blubbered a drunk soldier, too far consumed by the influences of his virile brew to take note of the superior size of his adversary.
Titan.
Grigner lithely bounded. Is that how you spell lithely?
Grigner lively bounded.
Lithely bounded. From the startled female, his face lit up to an ashen red ferocity and eyes locked into a searing feral blaze toward the swaying soldier. To hell with you, braggart! Bellowed the angered accordion as he hefted his finely honed broadsword. The staggering soldier clumsily reached towards the pommel of his dangling sword, and before his hands ever touched the oaken hilt, a silvering flash was slicing the heavy air. The thews of the savage's lashing right arm bulged from the glistening bronze hide as his blade bit deeply into the soldier's neck, loping off the confused head of his senseless tormentor. His poor confused
I don't think this man would be confused. Okay, so with a nauseating thud, the severed oval toppled to the floor. Everything's a fucking oval. As the segregated torso of Grigner's bovine antagonist swayed, then collapsed in a pool of swirled crimson.
It swirls.
Everything's a swirling oval of
orb.
Fucking bovine antagonist. Where did that come from? Bovine. What does that even mean? He looked like a fucking cow. In the confusion, the soldiers' fellows confronted Grigner with unsheathed cutlasses directed toward the latter's scowling makeup.
Latters with no apostrophe.
Also, Grigner has just murdered someone for basically saying you fucked my lady, and then he just killed him. No wonder Grigner's not very outstanding.
Should I apply some scowling makeup?
Yes. I think we're meant to think that Grigner's a good guy, but so far I'm not impressed. The slut should have picked his quarrel more carefully.
Quarry.
Oh my god. And I think slut in this case means the man. The slut should have picked his quarry more carefully, and then he may have done better.
Is he searching for sulfur?
He's a fucking...
Or something.
He's a fucking miner. Roared the victor in a mocking baritone growl. The way this is written, it's very confusing, because it's like roared the victor instead of being roared Grigner. We have to make a lot of assumptions based on the... Anyway, he's trying to be purposefully obtuse, as I would say. Roared the victor in a mocking baritone growl. He roared and growled at the same time as he wiped his dripping blade on the prostrate form and returned it to its scabbard. The fool should have shown more prudence. However, you shall rue your actions while rotting in the pits, stated one of the sprawled soldier's comrades.
Oh my god, he's supposed to be his comrade.
I'm having a lot of difficulty reading this.
That's a bit rude.
Grigner's hand began to remove his blade from its leather housing, but retarded the motion in the face of blades waving before his face. Dismiss your hand.
This is my sword. His blade.
Dismiss your hand from the hilt, barbarian, or you shall find a foot of steel sheathed in your gizzard.
Where's the gizzard? Is it a throat?
Is this tummy? Gizzards.
Gizzards.
Actually, I'm not really sure. Grigner weighed his position, observing his plight. whereupon he took to the soldier's advance as the only logical choice. To attempt to hack his way from his present predicament could only warrant certain death. He was of no mind to bring upon his own demise if an alternative path presented itself. The will to he's just saying the same thing again. The will to necessitate his life forced him to yield to the superior force in hopes of a moment of carelessness. Later, upon the part of his captors, in which he could effect a more plausible means of escape. So it's the same thing 3 times. You may steady your arms, I will go without a struggle. Your decision is a wise one, yet perhaps you would have been better off had you forced death. The soldier's mouth wrinkled to a sadistic grin of knowing mirth as he prodded his prisoner on with the sword point. After an indiscriminate period of marching. Does that make sense?
Well,
Indiscriminate.
I mean, they're marching around the beaten tavern indiscriminately.
Indiscriminate. Right, I have laughed.
I win. After an indiscriminate period of marching through the slinking alleyways and dim moonlighted streets. Moonlighted, of course. Streets, the procession confronted a massive seraglio. The palace area was surrounded by an iron grating with a lush garden upon all sides.
So I've googled indiscriminate and it means at random without careful judgment. After a random and without careful judgment period of marching.
Through the slinky alleyways. I think it was quite the parade.
They just wandered about.
With the titan in tow.
With an indiscriminate amount of time.
I wonder what's happened to the prostitutes in this time with their...
Oh, these poor prostitutes. They're so willing and they're so complying.
Yes. And so naked with their saggy nipples.
And opaque.
Oh, we have an animation!
That is quite the drawing. This poor man doesn't have any eyes.
Is that the person who wrote this? J.T.
No, this was written by Jim Thies. So this picture is basically...
that's not Grigno.
Benedict Cumberbatch now. It's Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange, but without any eyes for some reason.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Why is he there?
No, it just looks like I'm describing for our listener friends.
Oh, I was hoping Benedict might make an appearance in this. I think that would lift the tone.
This is the end of part 1.
Okay. The group...
No, I meant we're ending this part of of the podcast.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Well, it's finished.
We're doing half an hour at a time. So we've done the first half an hour.
Oh, God.
This is how this works. And now we're going to do another half an hour and then we can stop and then we'll do more next week. Or whatever.
Cool.
This is behind the scenes for you. You're getting all of the details because I won't have cut it yet. So we're going to cut it. I hope you all enjoyed. I'll try and interrupt less. Sorry. Poor Emma. And we'll see you next time. I hope you're enjoying. And then long pause.
Bye.
Oh, yeah. Emma said, goodbye.
Do I get to say bye, or is this entirely your thing?
No, you're just here for my amusement.
I see. There we go.
All right. Goodbye.
Bye.
Well, now we'll just wait a bit.
Nice to meet you.
This is just so I can find where to cut without too much effort.